welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button down below and join this family. Okay, so today's video is gonna be a little different. I'm gonna show you guys how I do my eyebrows. So I may get my eyebrows waxed maybe 4 or 5 times a year, and I know y'all probably like, what? Yeah, I know, but it's because I shape up my brows myself. Like whenever my brows start to be like looking a little raggedy, I just get tweezers and I tweeze up under here, like up under here, and I'll tweeze like up here, or I'll get like a little razor and I will raise down shaved, I don't even know what I was trying to say, shave down the hairs that are up here and just shape up my brows, and then I fill them in to make them look clean. Okay, that's how I do my brows. But yes, I'm going to get into this video and show you guys how I do my brows. Alright, so let's get into the video. So the first thing I would do is, of course, like I would like spoolie them. If you don't comb your brows out, when you shape them, it just won't look right. It won't look it won't go with your actual line. It'll be going with the line of where your brows were like when you woke up. That's what the shape is going to be based off of. You want your hairs to fill in as much as possible, so you don't have to use as much product with the pencil or whatever you use. You will use a lot of product if you don't comb it out, because you don't see the parts that need the product the most. You're just gonna see it from the way it is. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so the next thing I'll do, of course, is my pencil. I use pencil. I don't know what you guys use. Some use a little pomade, I believe it's called, and y'all just use a brush and y'all put that on there. I used to do that, but it used to make my brows like super dark, and I like natural brows. So yes, I use a pencil. It doesn't matter what pencil. I get mine from the dollar store. I don't really care. If it says brow, I use it, okay? And I just make sure the color matches my brows. So this is what I'll do, is I start from the tail up, because I want the front to be lighter than the rest of the brow, because you kind of want that faded effect. That's what I do. Make sure you relax your brow, because you don't want to go too far up, because then you'll shape it off of like it the way it is when you lift it, which you don't want to do. And as you're going on, brush it too, so that you know it won't stay too dark in one spot. Make sure it's, you know, faded into the hairs. I know it looks crazy right now, but it's going to look clean once you put on the concealer. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this other brow off camera. Don't worry, it will look the exact same as this one whenever I'm done, but I just want to get to the concealer so that I can show you guys what to do next. Okay, I am back. As you can see, they're both looking the same. I just filled them in and brushed them out. Now I'm going to go into the concealer. I use the LA Girl Pro concealers, and I use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Erase Dark Circles concealer. I just got into this one. I think it is pretty good. It's pretty pigmented, but yeah, so I usually mix these so that I can shape my brows. Okay, you guys, so I am back. I just mixed the concealer, put that on my brush, and make sure I get the excess concealer off the brush, so that it won't be too much product when I go in to shape my brow, because if there's too much product, it'll become a little too much in one spot, and then when I go by it could get on top of my brow, and I do not want that. So I'm gonna go into brow and I'm going to shape my brow. And by the way, this brush that I'm using is like a little square brush. I don't know, I kind of got this, I can't remember where I got this. I think I got it from Dollar Store if I'm not mistaken. Y'all, I'm sorry, but just get any type of flat straight brush, like square type brush. That's what I use. Some people use angle brushes, but I like this one. It just straightens my brow better. But yeah, so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna go across, and I'm going to go with the shape of my brow. That's what you want to do, go with the shape of your brow. So now that I shaped my brow, I'm going to bring the concealer down. The reason why I do that is because I want to I want to blend the concealer in with my lid, because I don't want to have super light up here and then the lid of my lid skin tone is dark, and then if I do that, it's gonna look like light in the dark. I kind of want to blend it in so that it doesn't look too harsh of a highlight. So now I'm gonna take this brush right here. It's a little tough. It's not too the hairs aren't too loose, so it's got a little toughness to it, which you want, so that it'll blend in better. So I'm gonna take this fluffy brush and blend it into my lid. Okay, so now I just blended everything. I did this side off camera so that it wouldn't take too much time, but I basically did the same thing on both sides. Also, I did want to mention before I continue that your brows are not twins. They are sisters. They won't look the same all the time. They're not going to. It just not. Both of my brows are shaped completely different. I have issues with this brow sometimes I have issues with this one. It's just they won't be the same, so please don't try to perfect it to look the same, because if you do that, the more you go in with the concealer, the thinner it gets, or the thicker it gets when you go in with the pencil. So just realize that they're sisters and not twins. Also, I want to say that when you go in with the pencil and you're brushing in and it looks a little too much, when you get the concealer, that's what shapes the brow. That's what fixes your mistakes. The concealer is basically your eraser to sharpen up your brow, like that. That's what it does. It sharpens up your brows so that they're not messy. So when you're going in with the pencil and you're brushing in and you see that it is faded nice, but it may be everywhere, don't worry about that. I promise you the concealer will erase the messy parts, and it'll make it more clean and sharp, and you won't even see that mess anymore. So now I'm gonna go in above my brow and shape it up that way. I know this is gonna be a little lighter, but don't worry, I will show you guys what to do with that afterwards. But now I'm gonna go in above to shape my brows above. Okay, so I know y'all, I look crazy, but I'm about to blend it out now with the brush. Same thing I did under here with blending, I'm going to blend above also. And y'all, sometimes I do go in with my fingers to blend it in even more. There's nothing wrong with that. The key to all this is blending. That's honestly the key to any makeup, is blending. Make sure to get in with those sharp lines that you created. Make sure to blend those lines out. You do not want sharp lines because that will give away the fact that you did your brows, which you don't want. You want to try your best to be as natural as possible, but you don't want to be too obvious. You want to have it as natural as possible. You want to blend it in as much as possible. So now that it is blended out, it's pretty blended out right now. So now I'm going to go in with a powder that matches my skin tone to clear out some of this brightness that I got going on right now. Okay guys, I am back. I just did this side off camera just to give you all a little example of what I want it to look like. And then this is how bright it would be if you just left it alone. I'm not saying it looks, it just looks ashy on me, you know? So I had to clean it up with a little face powder, a powder that matches my skin tone. So basically, the powder that I had broke. It's like all crumbled up right now, and I'm sad because I can't buy another one right now. So my tip is to use eyeshadow. And no, I don't mean all these darn colors, no. But I mixed them. I used this one right here, this one, and this one right here next to the yellow. This one and this one. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette, the old one. Went above the brow. On this side I went above the brow, as you can tell. See how bright that is? See how my color tone is? Yeah. So I went above the brow, and I also went on my lid and I blended it. I went from here and blended it up. I didn't go straight into where it was light because then it'll be too harsh and it'll look dark, and you don't want dark where you want the highlight at, because this is where the highlight of your brow is, and you don't want it to be dark and then this one be a little dark but different shade from this. You don't want that. So I first went in here and then I blended it upward, and it's slowly like all the product here and then faded the rest of the product up. So I'm going to blend these colors and knock off some of that product, and I want from right here and I want upward. I want all the way up. I was not afraid to go up. Don't be afraid. You can see, you just blend it up and you just basically you're calming down the brightness of that concealer. Yes, you want to highlight your brow, but you don't want it to be too harsh. So that's what this powder is for. That's why I am blending upward, so that the highlight's still there, but it's not as harsh. So I'm gonna get some more of that powder, blend it, some of this eyeshadow, go some of that powder and go above my brow. And ooh, and blend some of that brightness out. And blend it out, y'all. Make sure there's no harsh lines of where I kind of go up into my hairline also, because I don't want it to be like one color here and blend it here and not go all the way up pretty well. I'm going between here because I did have some concealer right here. So the next thing that I do is I grab a little bit of a lighter eyeshadow, and you see how that is highlighted right there? That's because I added a lighter shadow on top of the skin tone eyeshadow that I added. I didn't want to go straight into the brow bone with a light powder because the concealer was still there. If I would have put that powder on there, it would have been a big pigment because the concealer makes eyeshadows brighter, the color of the eyeshadow brighter, and I did not want that because I did not want it to be like super bright highlight. You don't want to do that because it won't look realistic. So I grabbed that big of this color right here, this one, not any of these light ones, this one. This is like a pretty good skin tone, good color for a highlight, brow bone highlight. So I'm gonna go in with that. See, a little bit, you don't need that much, knock it off a little bit, and just go under the arch and go side to side. Make sure you're going across, you don't want it just right there, you kind of want to blend it out. And don't worry, you're gonna go in with that same brush that you used with the skin color eyeshadow, and you're gonna blend each side out so that it won't be too harsh and that it'll be blended out. So you're gonna go in underneath it, and then you're gonna go to the side, go to the other side of where you put that pigment. You're just gonna blend it out just like that. You want it to be blended out as much as possible, and boom, there is brow bone highlight without it being too harsh. I'm not an expert, I will say that. I'm not an expert, I'm just showing you guys what I do. So yeah, so this is the end of my video. I just wanted to show you guys how I do my brows, let you guys get a little snatched during this quarantine, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a good bit, and I hope you learned how to blend and do brows, and I hope that I helped you guys out. But yeah, I hope you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.